Okay. So in the last session, we discussed regarding the ecosystem. Due to technical issue, we couldn't complete the session. So the session was ended around 25 minutes. Okay. So that is why today we are going to discuss regarding the ecosystem, right? Just a minute. Okay. So if yeah. So if this lesson is already completed at your college, it is well and good. If it is not completed, let me brush up some concepts before. Then we will understand or solve the questions further. Okay, fine. So in the ecosystem, we are going to mainly concentrate on the definition. So regarding the definition, we already studied from 8th standard, right? So ecosystem means what? Living organisms interacting with the non-living things around them. For example, when you take here, you can just see here pond, right? So you can just see here pond, right? So here you have duck, you have fishes and frogs, right? Then after that, you have insects, plants you have. So here these organisms directly or indirectly will be dependent or interacting with the non-living organisms. Duck will swim in the water. Fishes need water for their life, right? Then what we can say, sunlight is necessary. So this system is called as what? Ecosystem ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. ಹೌದಾ? So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ecosystem ಅಲ್ಲಿ we have types of ecosystem. Terrestrial ecosystem, aquatic ecosystem and man-made ecosystem. Terrestrial ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? Means which are on the land ಅಂತ. So forest we have, grassland we have, desert ecosystem we have. Same way aquatic ecosystem ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. As the name only suggests, aquatic means what? Water, right? So pond, lake, wetland, river and estuaries are the what we can say aquatic ecosystem. Then next one is man-made ecosystem, which are made by or prepared by a man. Okay, so here it is not created naturally. When you take this one, what you can say, forest, grassland, and etc. So these are formed naturally. Howda? But when you take other things like pond, like these are formed naturally. But aquarium ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, crop fields, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಹೊಲ ಗದ್ದೆಗಳಾಗಿರಬಹುದು, these are made up of human beings, right? So these are man-made ecosystem. Next, we have regarding the ecosystem. So the overall ecosystem of the globe or the biosphere is regarded as global ecosystem. So we have two components in the ecosystem. One is biotic, the next one is abiotic. Biotic means what? The living components, we can say, right? So abiotic means non-living components. Next, we have one more term here, which we have to concentrate on. So the stratification, the word stratification. So what is stratification? Vertical distribution of different species occupying different level is called as stratification. For example, when you consider a forest, okay, so this is a forest, you can see. So the ground layer will be consisting of grasses, small herbs and all, and the upper layer consisting of shrub layer. Next we have understory layer. Okay, next we have understory layer. I mean, the plants are, the height of the plants will be more than the shrub. Next we have canopy layer, which have a the whose what we can say, the branches has been spread all over. Then we have the emergent layer, that is through which the sunlight will be passing. Emerging. Okay, so this is a emergent layer. So like this, the vertical distribution of many living organisms, okay, occupying the different level. So this is called as what? Stratification. Okay. Next we have, here we have the pond ecosystem as an example. So what is pond? It is a simple self-sustainable a water body. So it will be having abiotic components. Which are the abiotic components here? Water and soil deposit, what we can say. You can also consider the sunlight. Okay. Then climatic condition, solar energy, temperature, day and day length means how many hours it will be a day, how many hours it will be a night. Then we have autotrophic components. What do you mean by autotrophs? Anyone? Autotrophs ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? You can message me in the chat box. What do you mean by autotrophs? See, here we have some plants as an example, then phytoplanktons as an example. So what do you mean by autotrophs? ಏನು autotrophs ಅಂದ್ರೆ? Very easy question. ಏನಿರ್ಬೋದು autotrophs ಅಂದ್ರೆ? Yeah, you can say through the mic or through the chat box. Very good, Sanjana VH, which makes their own food, right? So like that we have phytoplankton. Phytoplankton means the small plants which are present in the lake. Then some algae we will be having. Floating and submerged and marginal plants are autotrophic components. When we think about the heterotrophs, means which are dependent on the autotrophs, which feeds on the autotrophs anta bandaga, in the pond we have zooplankton, very very small animals in the pond. Then free swimming and bottom dwelling. Free swimming means the swimming the bottom of the pond. Then we will be having decomposers like fungi, bacteria and flagellates. Flagellates ಅನ್ನೋದು ಈ ಪ್ರೋಟೋಜೋವಾ ಅಂತ ಏನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಪ್ರೋಟೋಜೋವಾ, ಈ ಅಮೀಬಾ, ಯುಗ್ಲಿನಾ will be having the flagella ಅಲ್ವಾ? Paramecium will be having the cilia. Ciliates ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೂಡ ಡಿಕಂಪೋಸರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತವೆ. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ we have structure and function. ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? ಫಸ್ಟ್ autotrophs with the help of the sunlight they convert inorganic. What do you mean by inorganic? That is carbon dioxide and water. Okay, inorganic substances into organic substances. That is nothing but glucose. What we can say, the autotrophs may die. Okay, so due to this death of heterotrophs or autotrophs, what happened? Decomposition and mineralization of dead matter to release them back for reuse by the autotrophs. So when it is decomposed, na, any matter, whether it is a plant matter or animal matter, so adu decay agi decompose ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋರು ಯಾರು? Again it will be reused by the plants, or we can say autotrophs, right? So this is the function of the ecosystem. ಇನ್ನು ಎಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನು 4 ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಕಂಪೋನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳಂತ ಬರ್ತವೆ. ಸೊ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದ್ಯಾವ್ದಿದೆ? ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ means using the photosynthesis how much food is prepared, how much food has been converted into organic food. Then decomposition, breaking down of the organic matter. Then energy flow, how the energy flow from one organism to another organism. Then nutrient cycling, how the nutrients will undergo cycling in the atmosphere. So these are the 4 components we have. Okay, so now let us discuss some questions. Then again I will brush up some concepts. Okay, fine. So the first question of today of KCET is, the term ecosystem was coined by option A, E. Haeckel, E refers to Ernst. Then option B, E. Warming. Option C, E.P. Odum. Option D, A.G. Tansley. What will be your answer on this? The term ecosystem was coined by. Yes, students, who will answer this first? The term ecosystem was coined by. Yeah? You can refer to your textbook or any other reference notes also, and you can let me know the answer. the term ecosystem was coined by? Yes, YouTube students. Okay, let us proceed to the answer here. The right answer is option D, A.G. Tansley. Okay, a scientist named A.G. Tansley coined the term ecosystem in the year 1935. Okay, it is A.G. Tansley. All right. Next question. Which one of the following is a characteristic feature of cropland ecosystem? A. Absence of weeds. B. Ecological succession. C. Absence of soil organisms. D. Least genetic diversity. See here, I am using, I am discussing the examples which we already discussed in the last class. Yakendre last class only up to 20 minutes I took, and due to the technical issue, the class was suspended. That is why this is a repeated question. These are repeated questions. Do answer it. So, ಈಗ cropland ecosystem ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. Cropland ecosystem ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? So, cropland ecosystem andre it is a man-made ecosystem. Okay, it is an example of man-made ecosystem. ಹೊಲ ಗದ್ದೆಗಳಿಗೆ ನಾವು cropland ecosystem ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಈ cropland ecosystem ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರುವ ಯಾವುದು cropland ecosystem ನ ಗುಣಲಕ್ಷಣ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆಬ್ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ವೀಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವೀಡ್ಸ್ ಇರೋದೇ ಇಲ್ವಾ cropland ecosystem ಅಲ್ಲಿ? ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ರಾಂಗ್ Sayyada. Okay. Good. Then ecological succession anta baratte. So how so this also is not a characteristic of the cropland ecosystem. Absence of soil organisms. Definitely soil organisms will be there in the cropland ecosystem, right? Earthworm irutte. Ade riti leguminous plants idre. We will be having the rhizopus, nitrosomonas. Okay, these all bacteria will be present. So, ella soil organisms idde irutte. So, this is also not a characteristic feature. D, least genetic diversity. So, this is a right answer. Yake andre, so in the plants will be grown which are same. Means, for example, wheat will be grown. Sugarcane will be grown. So we will not grow a variety of plants there. ಹೌದಾ? ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಜೆನೆಟಿಕ್ ಡೈವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಏನಿರತ್ತೆ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರತ್ತೆ. ಒಂದೇ ರೀತಿಯ ಒಂದು ಈಗ ವೀಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಗ್ರೋ ಮಾಡದೆ ಒಂದೇ ವೆರೈಟಿ ವೀಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಗ್ರೋ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಜೆನೆಟಿಕ್ ಡೈವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಮೇಡ್ ಎಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಡಿ is a right answer. Okay, Sayyada answered it correctly. Good. So next question, vertical distribution of different species occupying different levels in biotic community. So just now ಮಾಡಿ down level ಇಂದ ಅಪ್ಪರ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ವರೆಗೂ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ವರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಗೆ we have given a one term. So what is that term? A, zonation. B, pyramid. C, divergence. D, stratification. What is your answer on this, my dear students? Okay, Karima Sayyada answered it. Very good. What about others? Yes, come on. So exactly, it is called as stratification. What it is called as? Stratification. So next question, which one of the following is not a functional unit of an ecosystem? Not an functional unit, structural unit ಅಲ್ಲ. ಎಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರಲ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಪೋನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಏನ್ ಬರ್ತವೆ? ಬಯೋಟಿಕ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅಬಯೋಟಿಕ್ ಕಂಪೋನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತವೆ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಫಂಕ್ಷನಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಸೊ ವಿಚ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫಾಲೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅ ಫಂಕ್ಷನಲ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್? A is energy flow. B is decomposition. C is productivity. D is stratification. Yes. Okay, I got the answer. Option D is not stratification. ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರಲ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಈ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಫ್ಲೋ, ಕಂಪೋಸಿಷನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತವೆ, these will considered as the functional units or components of the ecosystem, right? productivity ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ decomposition ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ energy flow, ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ nutrient cycling. Yeah. Next question. Which one of the following is one of the characteristics of a biological community? ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರುವ ಯಾವುದು ಬಯಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿಯ ಗುಣಲಕ್ಷಣ? A is stratification, B is natality, C is mortality, D is sex ratio. Okay, I got the quick response from Karima Sayyada. Very good. Any other responses? Yes, any other answers, YouTube students? So if you answer soon, we can solve many questions. If you slow down your process of answering, we can solve only minimum questions. So be fast. So when we discussed regarding the chapter organism and population, I ಒಂದು chapter na ನಾವು discuss ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. KCET chapter ಇದೆ, ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ theory chapter ಇದೆ. If you did not watch or did not attend, you can get it in our YouTube channel, organism and population. So ಈ population ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಏನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಗಳು ಬರ್ತವೆ. ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ನ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಗಳು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ನ್ಯಾಟಾಲಿಟಿ, ಮಾರ್ಟಾಲಿಟಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಸೆಕ್ಸ್ ರೇಷಿಯೋ. ಬಟ್ ಅವ್ರೇನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಬಯಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಒಂದು ಗುಣಲಕ್ಷಣ ಯಾವುದು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಈಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಎ, ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್. ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಮಗೆ 3 ತರದ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಬಂತು ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಏನಿಲ್ಲಿ, the characteristics of biological community are dominant species diversity ಇರುತ್ತೆ, trophic organization, stratification, dynamism and stability. So ಇವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೂಡ biological communityಯ characteristics ಗಳಾಗಿವೆ. Organisms are not uniformly distributed throughout a community. They usually occur in definite zones. The spatial arrangement of population means how organisms will occur in definite zones ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಆ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರಲಿ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಹಾರಿಜಾಂಟಲಿ ಇಂಟು ಸಬ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟೀಸ್. ದಸ್ ಹಾರಿಜಾಂಟಲ್ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಝೋನೇಷನ್. ಇದು ವರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಡಿವಿಷನ್, ವರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಷನ್. ಹಾರಿಜಾಂಟಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ಸಬ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಆಗಿ ಈ ರೀತಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಝೋನೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೇವೆ. ಇನ್ನು ನ್ಯಾಟಾಲಿಟಿ, ಮಾರ್ಟಾಲಿಟಿ, ಏಜ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್, sex ratio, ಇವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೂಡ these are the characteristics of population. Of the following is most stable ecosystem. ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರುವ ಯಾವ ಎಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಸ್ಟೇಬಲ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ಎಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಆಗಿದೆ? A is mountain, B is ocean, C is forest, D is desert. Yes, what is your response on this? Okay. Sanjana HV answered it. Good. Yes. Any other answers? Okay. So let us check the answer. The right answer is option B, ocean ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ocean is the largest and most stable ecosystem ಆಗಿದೆ. Aquatic life is protected from vigorous climates and weather that are climatic condition in the problem of water supply, food, fire, artificial forces such as industrialization, farming, grazing. ಇದರೆಲ್ಲದರಿಂದ ಅದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದೂರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಏನಿರ್ತವೆ ಓಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಹೌದಾ? Then the sea and fresh water habitats. So ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ocean is a most stable what we can say ecosystem. Do remember it. Next, okay, so let me brush up some concepts of productivity, then later we will proceed with the questions. Okay na? See here, illi characteristics ಗಳು ಅಂತ ಬಂದು, ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ, ಡಿಕಂಪೋಸಿಷನ್, ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಫ್ಲೋ ಮತ್ತೆ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಯೆಂಟ್ ಸೈಕ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ. ಹೌದಾ? ಸೊ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಸೋಲಾರ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಈಸ್ ಅ ನೀಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ಟು ಲಿವ್. ಹೌದಾ? ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಯೋಮಾಸ್. ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಮೀನ್ ಬೈ ಬಯೋಮಾಸ್? ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್. ಏನಿದು ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ C6H12O6 ಏನ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಯಾವ್ದ್ರಿಂದ? ಫೋಟೋಸಿಂಥೆಸಿಸ್ ಇಂದ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ದ ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್. ಸೊ ಇದು ಏನು ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಇದರ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಬಯೋಮಾಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಪರ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಏರಿಯಾ. ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಜಾಗವನ್ನ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಪರ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಏರಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಎಷ್ಟು ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. SI ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳು ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಕಿಲೋ ಕ್ಯಾಲೋರಿ ಪರ್ ಮೀಟರ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ. ದೆನ್ okay, just a minute. Can you hear me now? Please shift to the network area where you have a strong network. If your network is poor, you hear my voice will be breaking. Karima Sayyada, can you able to hear me properly? Because Sanjana is facing a issue, she told. Okay, thank you, Sanjana. Fine. It is expressed in kilocalorie per meter square. ಯಾವುದು? ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಅಂತ. ದ ರೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಯೋಮಾಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಟೈಮ್ ವರೆಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಆ ರೇಟ್ಗೆ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ? ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. ಪರ್ ಇಯರ್, ಒಂದು ಇಯರಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಿಲೋ ಕ್ಯಾಲೋರಿ ಪರ್ ಮೀಟರ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಪರ್ ಇಯರ್. ಓಕೆ, ದಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಇಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಕಿಲೋ ಕ್ಯಾಲೋರಿ ಪರ್ ಮೀಟರ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಪರ್ ಇಯರ್. ನೆನಪಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಆಗೋದು ಕಿಲೋ ಕ್ಯಾಲೋರಿ ಪರ್ ಮೀಟರ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್. ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ productivity, this one is, we will calculate it as a what we can say per year anta. Okay, it is divided into productivity is divided into two types, that is gross primary productivity anta ide, innondu net primary productivity anta ide. Okay, fine. ಏನಿದು ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ? It is the rate of production of organic matter during photosynthesis. ಎಷ್ಟರ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ as ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ. Considerable ಎಷ್ಟು ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್? ಬ್ರೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಡೌನ್ ಆಫ್ ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್. ಅಲ್ಲೇನಾಗತ್ತೆ? ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಡೌನ್ ಆಗಿ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡು, ವಾಟರು, ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಈ ರೀತಿ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಪ್ರಮಾಣದ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಅನ್ನ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳು ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಸಂಬಂಧ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತವೆ? ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ಕೋತಾವೆ. ನೆಟ್ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಅವೈಲೇಬಲ್ ಬಯೋಮಾಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಕನ್ಸಂಪ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೆಟರೋಟ್ರೋಪ್ಸ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅವೈಲೇಬಲ್ ಇದೆ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್, ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ತಗೋತಾವೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಎಷ್ಟು ಉಳಿದಿದೆನೋ, ಸೊ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಅವೈಲೇಬಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಹೆಟರೋಟ್ರೋಪ್ಸ್, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ? ನೆಟ್ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್. ನೆಟ್ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಮೈನಸ್ ಆರ್. ಆರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ರೇಟ್. ಯಾರ್ದು? ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ದು. NPP is equal to GPP minus R. Do remember it. ಓಕೆನಾ? ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಆಯ್ತು, ಹೌದಾ? ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ರೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಆಫ್ ನ್ಯೂ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಬೈ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮರ್ಸ್. ಸಿ, ನಾವು ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ದ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್, ಓಕೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಅಸ್. ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ವೇರೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಎಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್. ಈ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಎಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಒಂದು ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಇರತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಸ್ಪೀಶೀಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್. ಡೆಸರ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತವೆ, ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತವೆ. ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಬಿಸಿಲು ಅಥವಾ ತಾಪಮಾನ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರಬಹುದು. ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ the humid climate, availability of nutrients, photosynthetic capacity of plants. So these all will नहीं, मैं हिंदी में बात नहीं कर सकती. I mean, I'm not so fluent in Hindi. So as I explained in Kannada, so I can switch on to the English. That's it. English, I will switch on. I can switch on to the Kannada a little bit. So not Hindi. I'm sorry. Yeah. So photosynthetic capacity of plants. Okay. So some plants will photosynthesize too much. Some plants will photosynthesize in a normal way. So that also will be related. So this all affects the primary productivity, not the secondary productivity. Next, when we proceed to the annual net primary productivity. So what do you mean by annual net primary productivity? So overall, when we consider our earth or a biosphere, how much organic matter is produced by all the plants present in the biosphere. So it is called as what? Annual net primary productivity. So the amount or the average amount has been calculated as 170 billion tons of organic matter will be produced annually by the plants which are present in the biosphere. Of this, despite occupying 70% of the surface, the productivity of the Asian is only, I'm sorry, 55 billion tons. Among 170 billion tons, 55 billion tons will be produced by the oceans, and the remaining thing will be produced by the, what we can say is, the plants which are present on the land. Okay, so this is about the productivity. Now let us discuss some questions again. Then again we will brush up the concepts. Okay, so in relation to gross primary productivity and net primary productivity of an ecosystem, which one of the following statement is correct? Okay, gross primary productivity is always less than net primary productivity. Gross primary productivity is always more than net primary productivity. Gross primary productivity and net primary productivity are one and the same. There is no relationship between gross primary productivity and now we discussed GPP, NPP, etc. Right? So, okay, Sanjana answered it. Very good. What about others? Yes, YouTube students. Okay, Karima Sayeda. Okay. So just now we discussed it regarding the terms gross primary productivity, GPP. What do you mean by GPP? The amount of or so that is called GPP. It is minus respiration rate. See, among GPP, whatever the organic matter is produced, no, some percentage of this organic matter is utilized by the plants. Okay, so for the respiration. So, subtracting the GPP from respiration rate, we will get NPP. So, obviously, GPP will be more, right? So, NPP will be less. So, that is why option B is a right answer. Very good. Option B ಅನ್ನೋದು ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆದ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಓಕೆನಾ? Yes, YouTube students, do comment in the chat box. Okay, this we already studied. Let us proceed to the next question. In an ecosystem, the rate of production of organic matter during photosynthesis is termed as ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ organic matter produce ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಹೌದಾ photosynthesis ಆಗುವಾಗ what it is called as secondary productivity, net productivity, net primary productivity, gross primary productivity. Yes, who is going to answer this quickly? Okay, the quick response is given by Sanjana. Okay, good. Yes, what about others? So just now we discussed it, alva, right? Okay, Karima Sayeda. Okay, good. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಅ ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ. ನೆಟ್ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ GPP ಮೈನಸ್ ಆರ್. ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮರ್ಸ್. ನೆಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಓವರ್ ಆಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ. ಹೌದಾ? ಸೊ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಡಿ ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಇಸ್ ದ ರೈಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ಓಕೆ, ದೆನ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್. The rate of formation of new organic matter by rabbit in grassland. Read the question properly. Rate of formation of new organic matter by rabbit in a grassland is called net productivity, secondary productivity, net primary productivity, gross primary productivity. Okay, the quick response is given by Sanjana. Very good. What about others? Yes, YouTube students. They asked new organic matter produced by rabbit ಅಂತ. ಎಲ್ಲಿ? ಗ್ರಾಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಎಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಹೌದಾ? ಎಸ್, ಕರೀಮಾ ಸೈಯದ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಡ್ ಇಟ್. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಗ್ರಾಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಎಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇನ್ಲಿ ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಹೌದಾ? ಸೊ ದ ರಾಬಿಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಫೀಡ್ ಆನ್ ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಹೌದಾ? ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್? ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ autotroph, or it nothing but a plant which can prepare its own food. So it will come under what? Primary productivity, or it produces whatever organic matter it produces, it comes under GPP, gross primary productivity. Then it is eaten by the grass. So GPP minus R. So whatever organic matter produced by the autotroph, some amount is primary productivity will be shifted to the rabbit. So by consuming the matter, right? So how much amount of organic matter produced by the rabbit, as it is what? It is a consumer. ಇಲ್ಲೇನಾಗತ್ತೆ? ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ, rabbit is a consumer. So the amount of organic matter produced by the consumer is referred as what? Secondary productivity. So option B I'm sorry, option B ಅನ್ನೋದೇನಿದೆ, that is a right answer. Okay, next question. The biomass available for consumption by the herbivores and the decomposers is called as. Okay, GPP ಆಯ್ತು. ಈಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಅಥವಾ ಬಯೋಮಾಸ್ ಅವೈಲೇಬಲ್ ಇದೆ ಕನ್ಸಂಪ್ಷನ್ಗೆ? ಯಾರಿಗೆ? ಈ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಡಿಕಂಪೋಸರ್ಸ್ಗೆ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ net primary productivity, secondary productivity, standing crop, gross primary productivity. Just now we discussed it when I was explaining the diagram. Okay, Sanjana answered it. Okay. Yes, dear students, do answer in the comment box. Karima Sayyada answered it. Okay. So the right answer is here option A, net primary productivity. From that time I am telling, so NPP, GPP ಮತ್ತೆ respiration rate ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಗಳು ಈ ರೀತಿ ಬರ್ತವೆ. So biomass available for consumption by the herbivores and the decomposers. So first ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳು ಬರ್ತವೆ. Okay, I am explaining once again. Do listen it carefully. Plants are what? These are nothing but the producers. Okay, the organic matter produced by the producers is considered as GPP, gross primary productivity, the biomass production during photosynthesis. Okay, so the plants are consumed by what? Herbivores. So herbivores are considered as consumers. So they will get the organic matter which is called as NPP. What is NPP? That is gross primary productivity minus R. What is R? Respiration rate. The amount of some amount of organic matter is utilized by the plants for the respiration. So when you subtract it, we will get net primary productivity. So the right answer is here option A. Okay, next question. The rate at which light energy is converted into chemical energy of organic matter is the ecosystems. Okay, so ಯಾವಾಗ light energy chemical energy ಆಗಿ convert ಆಗತ್ತೆ and it produces the organic molecule, ಅದು ಎಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ? ನೆಟ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ, ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ, ನೆಟ್ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ, gross secondary productivity. Okay, Sanjana HV answer, VH answer to the question. Good. Yes, do answer in the comment box, my dear students. Yes. So let us check the answer here. The right answer is option B, gross primary productivity. See how variety of questions they will ask regarding the same things. We solved many questions regarding GPP, NPP and R, right? So ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ? GPP ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. Next, maximum solar energy is trapped by planting trees, cultivating crops, growing algae in tanks, growing grasses. How you will utilize or trap maximum solar energy? Yes, dear students. Karima Sayyeda answered it. Good. Sanjana answered it. Fine. So let us check the answer here. The right answer for this question is option C, growing algae in tanks. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ the light spectrum of red and blue light are most effective in performing photosynthesis for growing algae. ಈ ಲೈಟ್ ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ರಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ರೆಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಬ್ಲೂ ಲೈಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅದು ಅಲಿಗೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೈ ಅಲಿಗೆ ಇಸ್ ಅ ರೈಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ಓಕೆ, a very efficient converter of solar energy with net productivity of 204 kg per meter square or more is the crop. ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಒಂದು ಕ್ರಾಪ್ ಇಷ್ಟರ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ನೆಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿಯನ್ನ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ? ಎ ಈಸ್ ವೀಟ್, ಬಿ ಈಸ್ ಶುಗರ್ ಕೇನ್, ಸಿ ಈಸ್ ರೈಸ್, ಡಿ ಈಸ್ ಬಾಜ್ರಾ. ಎಸ್ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಡೂ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಕಮೆಂಟ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್. A very efficient converter of solar energy with net productivity of 204 kg per meter square or more is the crop. ಯಾವ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು? Yes. Let us check. So the right answer is here option B, sugar cane. Option B, sugar cane. Next question. Okay. Let us brush up some concepts. Then again I will come to this. So we discussed a productivity concept. Then we are discussing the decomposition concept now. Okay. What is decomposition? Breakdown of complex organic matter, that is organic matter ididu simple organic inorganic matter agi convert agodakke it is called as what? Decomposition. The question arises why it has to convert into simple inorganic matter. So when it converts into simple inorganic matter only, then only it is absorbed by the atmosphere, by the soil, by the air, by the water. If it is organic matter, it is not absorbed. Okay, that is why decomposition is necessary. It is largely an oxygen requiring process. Means this process requires oxygen for its reaction. Raw material for decomposition is called detritus. Means any dead matter, whether it is a dead plant, whether it is a dead animal which will undergo decomposition in future, or which will undergo decomposition, it is called as detritus. Dead plant remains, dead remains of animals, fecal matter means excreta of human beings, animals. So these all are considered as detritus. Okay, just a minute. Yeah. So steps of decomposition. We have a 5 steps in decomposition. First one is fragmentation, leaching, catabolism, humification, mineralization. How you will remember it? FLCHM. FLCHM. Okay. So in fragmentation, you can see the diagram here. Okay, this is fragmentation. This is leaching. This here leaching starts. Catabolism, humification, this all is, and this is a mineralization. This is a mineralization. So let me explain you. Fragmentation anta bandaga, here you can see an insect has been died. Okay, na? You can see an insect has been died, an earthworm. Okay, breakdown of detritus into smaller particles. So here to here, breakdown of particles or a dead organism into smaller particle. It is called as what? Fragmentation. Next we have is leaching anta ide. So water soluble inorganic nutrients. Water soluble inorganic nutrients go down into soil horizon and precipitate as unavailable salt. So whatever inorganic substances are present in that animal, right? In the nutrient will be present now, that will go under the soil horizon and it is converted into what? Unavailable salts, unavailable salt like this under the soil. This is called as leaching anta. Next we have is catabolism, degradation of detritus into simpler inorganic substances by bacterial and fungal enzymes. So see here, whatever you are seeing here, these are nothing but a small mushrooms. Mushrooms are nothing but what? A fungi. So wherever you can see the fungi or the mushroom, you can understand that. So these are grown, these will be grown on the detritus, so that the organic matter will be converting into inorganic substances. Many bacteria will be also involved in it. So it is called as what? Catabolism. Degradation means what? Breaking down. Okay. Then next we have is humification. That is nothing but accumulation of humus. Here you can see a dark color, right? Amorphous substance, a dark brown color. So accumulation of humus in the soil is called humification. It is resistant to microbial action and so decomposes very slowly. It will undergo decomposition very slowly. Being colloidal in nature, it serves as a reservoir of nutrient. So it is a colloidal in nature and it provides nutrients to the plants. Next one is mineralization. It is the release of inorganic nutrients. So whatever organic matter has been converted into inorganic substance, alva. So that inorganic substance or a nutrient, due to the degradation of humus, that is due to the decomposition or the breaking down of the humus by some microbes, it will undergo mineralization. That inorganic nutrient will be converted into minerals. So this is how decomposition takes place. So here you can see a decomposition cycle in the terrestrial ecosystem. So here see, a tree grows in the soil, a green leaf falls on the ground. Okay. Some are eaten by insects. Some part of it are eaten by insects and other animals. Nutrients and energy enter the food web. Okay. Then remaining what happens? Some nutrients leach into the soil by chemical action, which is called leaching. Okay. Then some of them will be what we can say here also, leaves partially consumed by the decomposers. Decomposers like fungi and bacteria will break down it. They begin to lose form and become litter. Further decomposition by earthworm and bacteria takes place. So leaching ali organic rich soil agate, and this organic rich soil will be again used by what? The tree. So this is how the decomposition takes place in the terrestrial ecosystem. Okay, so what are the factors influencing decomposition? For example, chemical decomposition of the detritus. Decomposition is slow in detritus rich in lignin and chitin. So which are rich in the plant material, some of the plant parts are made up of lignin and chitin. Fungi wall is made up of chitin. So this decomposition is very slower. It is quicker if detritus is rich in nitrogen and water soluble substances like sugars. If the animal or the living organism is rich in nitrogen or a sugar, that will undergo decomposition in a quicker way. Climatic factor. Warm and moist environment favor decomposition. Low temperature and aerobiosis means if the oxygen level or the what we can say amount is very low, na, so the decomposition will not occur soon. Okay, yeah. So this is about decomposition. Now let us solve some questions on it. Yes, YouTube students, good evening. Do answer in the comment box. Yeah. Okay. Which one of the following processes during decomposition is correctly described? Okay. Catabolism, last step in the decomposition under fully anaerobic condition. Leaching, water soluble inorganic nutrients rise to the top layer of the soil. C. Fragmentation, carried out by organisms such as earthworm. D. Humification, leads to accumulation of a dark colored substance, humus, which undergoes microbial action at a very fast rate. Yeah. Which of the following process during decomposition is a correctly described anta kelidare. Okay, Sanjana VH answered it. Fine. Let us check the answer here. See, catabolism andre it is not the last step. Last step in the decomposition is mineralization. Okay. Catabolism andre enu degradation of organic matter into inorganic substances. Okay, so it is not a answer. Next, leaching, water soluble inorganic nutrients rise to the top layers anta ide. So here it is not a top layer, rise or seep down to the lower layers of the soil. Then humification leads to accumulation of dark colored substance, humus, which undergoes microbial action anta ide. So some of you will get confused and most of you will mark as option D. D ಅನ್ನ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ. ಆದ್ರೆ ನೆನಪಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಹ್ಯೂಮಸ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ವೆನ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಟು, it will not undergo microbial decomposition very soon. So it is resistant to microbial action. So it will undergo decomposition at very slower rate. Yaudu humus. Okay na? So the right answer is here fragmentation. Fragmentation annodeno, it is a right answer. Okay, so we saw the diagram also, right? Next question. The breakdown of detritus into smaller particle by earthworm is a process called. So the breakdown of detritus, ಏನು detritus matter ಇರುತ್ತೆ, that will be converted into fragments, okay, by the action of earthworm. ಈ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ಗೆ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ? ಹ್ಯೂಮಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್, ಫ್ರಾಗ್ಮೆಂಟೇಶನ್, ಮಿನರಲೈಸೇಷನ್, catabolism. Sorry. Answer, look to the options correctly, look to the questions correctly. The breakdown of detritus into smaller particles by earthworm is a process called as. Catabolism means what? Degradation of organic matter into inorganic substances. Okay, it is called as catabolism. They are asking breakdown of a detritus into smaller particles. What might be your answer? Just now we discussed it, alva? Yes. So here the answer is option number B. Fragmentation, smaller particles. Detritus ididu smaller particles ಆಗತ್ತೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ? Fragmentation ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. The slow rate of decomposition of fallen logs in nature is due to. ಫಾಲನ್ ಲಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಮರದ ಏನು ಬಡ್ಡೆ ಅಂತ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ, ಓಕೆ, ದ ಟ್ರಂಕ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಟ್ರೀಸ್. ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಫಾಲ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಗೋ ವೆರಿ ಸ್ಲೋ ಡಿಕಂಪೋಸಿಷನ್. why it is like that? A, anaerobic environment around them, low cellulose content, low moisture content, poor nitrogen content. Karina Sayeda answered it. Okay. Yes, YouTube students, you can answer in the comment box. Okay, let us check the answer. The right answer is here option D, poor nitrogen content. It will be having cellulose, the moisture content will be good, anaerobic environment around them, it will be not there because logs usually will fall in forest, alva, so oxygen will be there. So the right answer is option D. Decomposition is largely an oxygen requiring process. Rate of decomposition is quicker usually during warm and moist environment. So ಯಾವಾಗ ಲೈಗ್ನಿನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕೈಟಿನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಆವಾಗ ಸ್ಲೋ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. Okay, if it is rich in nitrogen, it will be happening quickly. Next, plant decomposers are, so you okay, so they gave certain examples here. Which among them are plant decomposers? We have to say Monera and fungi, fungi and plants, Protista and Animalia, Animalia and Monera. Plant decomposers are, anyone? Okay, Sanjana answered it. Fine. So let us check the answer. The right answer is option A, Monera and fungi. So microorganisms like bacteria, Monera is nothing but bacteria will come under Monera. Bacteria and fungi are decomposers of the ecosystem. They feed upon dead and decaying living organisms, usually both plants and animals, and break them into simpler compounds. These are released free in the atmosphere and were utilized by the producers. Okay, so this is regarding the question. Next, which of the following acts as a nature's scavengers? ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರುವ ಯಾವ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ nature scavenger? Scavenger ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? Which feeds upon the dead animals. Hyena, what we can say, crow, what we can say. So these all are scavengers. These will initiate the decomposition. Decomposition start ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ scavengers ಬೇಕೇ ಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾವೆಂಜರ್ ಆಗಿ, ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾವೆಂಜರ್ ಆಗಿ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? ಇನ್ಸೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್, ಮೈಕ್ರೋ ಆರ್ಗಾನಿಸಮ್ಸ್, ಮ್ಯಾನ್, ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್. Sanjana answered it. Okay, so let us check the answer here. The right answer is here option B, microorganisms. Okay, good. Next question. If we completely remove the decomposers, suppose decomposers ilve illa ecosystem alli anta ankolona, its functioning will be adversely affected by enagatte, because mineral movement will be blocked, the rate of decomposition will be very high, energy flow will be blocked, herbivores will not receive solar energy. What will be your comment on this or answer on this? Think that we removed the decomposers completely from an ecosystem. What will happen? Sanjana answered it. Okay, let us check the answer. The right answer is here obviously option A, mineral movement will be blocked. Nutrient cycling will be blocked. That is why decomposers are very necessary. So yeah, so this is it about the questions on ecosystem. We will get variety of questions on ecosystem, and we are going to solve much more questions on ecosystem in our CET crash course, okay, which will be starting in the month of March. And do remember, from the month of December, we are going to start Sankalp Yashash course. Okay. So it will be also live on YouTube. It is nothing but we are going to prepare and rock in the board exam. So we are going to start the revision classes from December 1, from the month of December. Okay. That is Sankalp Yashash course. Okay. Do attend it also. And from the month of March, again, our KCET courses will be as usual. Fine. So let me meet you all in the next session with a new chapter. Until that, take care. Have a nice day. Bye bye.